Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. I want to talk to you about four main subjects today. Number one, the latest statement from Abu Ubaida himself, a video recording statement. We haven't had one in a while from him, and the main highlights that came in his statement. The second thing that I want to talk to you about is the Cyprus-Gaza corridor and our thoughts and problems with it. The third thing that I want to talk to you about is the latest developments from Gaza. And the final thing is the latest protests from Israeli prisoner families in Israel. Let's start off with Abu Ubaida. So he had a 15-minute video. He himself presented the video. It wasn't a recorded statement. Many things he said, but I obviously highlighted the main things that he said in his statement. He mentioned that today, Friday, the Israeli aggression against Gaza Strip is entering its sixth month, and the Israeli occupation continues to perpetrate a real Nazi Holocaust against the Palestinian people. In statements made, in the same statement that he made today, he said that the laws of the world stand helpless against an occupying entity devoid of humanity's values, that the Palestinian people face an unprecedented Zionist American aggression in history. He pointed out that this battle sets the stage for a new phase globally, asserting that rights are not secured except by power, and that the outdated laws of the international community serve to protect injustice and aggression under the hegemony of the American administration. He also added that the 7th of October attack came in response to decades of continued aggression, reaching its peak with attempts to Judaize and demolish Al-Aqsa Mosque and build the Third Temple. He also affirmed that the Zionist arrogance escalated with the arrival of the most extremist Nazi-like government to rule the Israeli government, which had been planning what it currently is carrying out. He also added, an oppressive and trembling hand rises in the Security Council to thwart any attempt, even if symbolic, to support the oppressed. He also added that in response to the United States exercising their veto in the United Nations Security Council, blocking resolutions demanding immediate ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. He also noted that the resistance has been fighting the Israeli occupation for 154 days, inflicting significant losses upon its officers, soldiers, mercenaries, and machinery, confirming that the resistance has more in store. He also stated that the occupation will not find peace on Palestinian land, nor will it succeed in bringing security to itself before the Palestinians obtain their rights and the occupation ends. He added that we welcome Ramadan with struggle and steadfastness in a time of pride for men. He also emphasized the importance of Al-Aqsa Mosque, and he said that if there is any justice in this world, the Israeli government and its leaders will be tried for crimes against humanity. He said that the enemy is suffering grave losses and we have more to give him. By the help of God, we congratulate our nation with the coming of Ramadan, and we welcome it with the core elements in our religion, struggle and facing injustice. He said that Israel wants to destroy Al-Aqsa again, and that it is clear that they are delaying any ceasefire deal, and that any ceasefire deal must include the ending of the genocide, the occupation, rebuilding Gaza, let all the refugees back in their homes, and allow aid in. He said starving children to death is an unprecedented war crime, and a war crime against humanity. Their allies, in reference to Israel's allies, are unable to protect them, defend their stances, meaning. And he also added that the families of the prisoners need to know, the Israeli prisoners, that their government is keen on getting them back in coffins, because what the Gazans are facing in terms of starvation, the prisoners of Israel in Gaza are facing as well. Which leads me to Gaza. Israel again striking innocent civilians. We've had 24 martyrs in the past 24 hours. We had a strike in Rafah. We obviously have the threats of an attack in Rafah. They don't have a ground invasion, a proper ground invasion like what they're planning, but they constantly attack Rafah. Today they had an attack killing 9 people, 3 of which were children. Yesterday we spoke about them detonating a house in Hamad city, killing and wounding approximately 20 Israeli soldiers. We had another very similar attack again in the same location. Imagine how incompetent this occupation army is. They also sniped a commander, Al-Qassam Brigade, this is Al-Qassam by the way, in Beit Hanun. Do you know where Beit Hanun is? Beit Hanun is in one of the most northern parts of Gaza. These people speaking about Rafah, that the last brigades are in Rafah now. They dismantled everything, yet we're seeing attacks all across of Gaza and in the most northern parts of Gaza. There was a significant development in the West Bank. Now, we've had resistance in the West Bank, armed resistance, but today there was a trap in a settlement called Homish, and Israel admitted that 7 Israeli soldiers were severely wounded. Not severely, but in different degrees. Which leads me to the third thing that I want to talk about, the Cyprus corridor. So we're having this airdrop aid lately, and people are trying to show as if they care for the people of Gaza by dropping aid. And we also stated previously that any aid is good, something is better than nothing. However, before I reach to my conclusion and comments regarding this, really, let's talk about the Cyprus corridor. The EU, in coordination obviously with Israel, planning a corridor of humanitarian aid led by certain charities going through ships to Gaza. They're going to have a trial. They said it might start tomorrow, Saturday, but they're planning a first initial trial definitely on Sunday. This is what they stated. This is led by obviously the EU president and some other countries. The UK said it's also participated. Apparently Cameron's showing frustration with Benjamin Netanyahu. Up until when are you going to show frustration? When are you going to take some action? Stop being a hypocrite. But a couple of things that I wanted to note here. There are a few problems with this corridor. Number one, there's no logistic planning. There's no proper logistic planning. Where are you going to offload it? Gaza has no port. Where are you going to offload them? Are people going to run like they run desperately to anything to go and eat and probably get shot on the way by Israel? Who's going to offload them? How are you going to distribute them? That's number one. Then, again, airdrop is killing people. We had about approximately 4 people getting killed because an airdrop landed on a house. This is something that is not really reliable, okay? But the main thing, the main problem that we have with all of this is that none of this aid is addressing the root cause of the problem, the genocidal, corrupt, criminal government in Israel. And Israel in its core and how it always was, it's not addressing it. It's not addressing the root cause of the problem. Everyone is talking about Gaza and Hamas, then they can't be there and they shouldn't be there. But no one is talking about the fact that we can't have this genocidal state in its form existing, really. You can't have a state that exists in such a form. Nothing to do with Jewish people, nothing to do with anyone with any background. A state that commits a genocide, that is capable of committing a genocide at such a scale against civilian population, does not have a right to exist. They need to stop them. They need a regime change in Israel. The whole state needs to be changed from its roots, not just a person change, not just a new leader. The people who are more popular than Benjamin Netanyahu leading in the polls like Benny Gantz, they have the same genocidal mentality. They have the same approach when it comes to Rafah. They have the same approach when it comes to Hamas. We're just talking about small technical changes here. And I stated previously, and I'll reiterate again, It's not just Benjamin Netanyahu who is the problem, it's the enabling, it's the system that exists in Israel that enables someone to do such a thing. And this genocide that's happening now has been happening ever since Israel was establishment on an ongoing basis. This is not something new, and many people are waking up to it. This is very important to highlight because it's the main point that people should be focusing on. Which leads me to the final thing that I want to talk about. The Israeli families of prisoners in Gaza are obviously outraged. They always protest. Today they blocked a road in Israel. These people have had enough from Benjamin Netanyahu and what their government is leading them to. And they know that they're actually killing them in Gaza. So all of those people screaming about the Israeli prisoners in Gaza, Israel is starving them to death, killing them. It killed over 70 so far, confirmed and verified. It's not bringing the medication because they don't let any medication go into Gaza. And it's leaving them vulnerable with the same vulnerability of the people of Gaza. So if some people are only concerned about Israelis and not concerned about Palestinians, which is a shameful position really to be in, but let's say take that for argument's sake, then you're not worried about the Israelis who are in Gaza and are buying the official Israeli narrative, lies, propaganda regarding this. When it comes to my live stream tonight, I'm going to have a live stream at 9 p.m. I will be talking about the top Israeli neo-historian Ilan Pape and his predictions regarding Zionism, how this war will end. So stay tuned at 9 p.m. Members and subscribers can join in and participate in the conversation. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I will see you soon in the next video. Take care.